We're gonna give a quick walk around Tony Cerruto's truck. Go ahead, Tony. Tell us about it.
Hey, thanks, John Paul. This truck's a 2013 Tacoma. It is the TRD Sport Edition, so it's not the off-road. It's got no factory locker or anything like that. It's running stock 373 gears. It's for all intents and purpose, pretty plain Jane. I know it's got a bunch of stuff on it. I'm running 285 7017s. It's about just under a 33, depending on the tire manufacturer. They kind of measure a little bit differently.
But you're running the BF Goodrich
yeah,
KO2s.
KO2s, man.
Yep.
This is my third set of these, and really, I'm not brand biased necessarily, but I don't really have anything bad to say about these tires. They're not a mud tire, but as far as the miles I do, they really work well. And in the off-roading I do, I'm off-road somewhere, every week. This truck has been all the way up the East Coast into upstate New York twice, Connecticut 3 or 4 times, been out to Colorado twice, Utah, all through the West, back and forth, all road miles. I've got 183,000 miles on this truck.
Nice.
With, knock on wood, no issues under the hood. 4 liter is totally stock. I do have aftermarket suspension. I'm running Toy Tech Boss 3-inch. They're adjustable coilovers, which is important when you're running this much weight. The ARB and my super winch. I got a super winch.
What size you running in there?
This is an 11.5.
Wow.
So basically, it's kind of the 9.5. It's the Tiger Shark. So it's the 9.5 with extra gears, planetary gears, to make it, the 11.5, so I can pull more on it. Synthetic line helps it keeps a little bit lighter. Of course, I've got this high lift up here. I had it mounted up on my roof rack, but I'm so short, it was a real pain to get it.
That's a well-used high lift.
It is. This is seen quite a bit, right? And it's kind of in the way. I got to look at it. It wiggles around and shakes. It's it's a little bit annoying, but it's extremely utilitarian up here. It kind of is what it is. There's no real good place to put a high lift, especially when you're talking about.
I like that. Something that you use often.
Yeah, man, and I do use it quite a bit. I do a lot of classes and demos with it. I do have a raised air intake. This is more for clean air than it is for, fording, big, huge rivers, which I try to stay away from.
Kind of a forced air kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's clean air because in stock Toyota and most vehicles, your air box, it gets its air from right under the hood. So when you're talking about churning over silt and dust and dirt, it's just, all that stuff's going into your air cleaner, and the cleaner you can keep your air, the cleaner you're going to keep your engine.
Yeah, the better it runs.
Yeah, it looks cool. You're legit if you got a snorkel on it. Running this ARB roof rack.
Nice,
I don't usually run around with a lot of weight up there. If I'm putting anything up there, it's going to be lightweight, like camp chairs and stuff like that. Maybe some dirty laundry or
garbage bags.
I don't like to put big. Yeah, exactly. I don't like to put big, big heavy stuff up there because it raises your C of G, right? And, maybe some wood, some that nice lightweight Colorado firewood. Couple bundles of wood I'll throw up there. I do have a fridge. I'm running a Dometic fridge back here. I put my seats down because we're empty nesters now, so I don't have kids running around. And it actually, when I'm running the AC, and it keeps it a little bit. It keeps it running better when I actually have that in the back seat.
Have you run it without that bag, that covering on it?
I've not run it without the bag, and this bag is beat up, but I kind of, it kind of protects it from getting scuffed around when my dog likes to use this as a perch to look out the window, and keeps the fridge itself, I think, a little bit more protected and clean. But it's kind of convenient here. I did have it in the back, but once we get around the back, it was just a real pain in the butt to get in there.
I was going to say, I feel like that's the best place for them.
It kind of is, man. As long as you're not plan on taking the whole crew with you.
Right.
I've got this soft topper, which is great. The pros of it is super light. and it keeps things out of sight, out of mind. It's not 100% waterproof. If I get a good storm, I can get a little bit of leakage
through the zippers and
yeah,
stuff.
through the you know, just coming through here. The cool thing is I can unsnap and access through the side.
Right.
But it's, you know, it's again, it just keeps on things out of sight, out of mind. It's not secure. It's bad guys really wanted to get in there. They could.
I like that though. I like that better than a hard topper.
Yeah. It's lighter. It's lighter, but I'm actually thinking if I keep the bed, don't go to a slab bed like which I'm fantasizing about.
Right.
I think I might go with a hard topper, something like a Lear that I can. It's about an inch higher than the cab.
Yeah.
And I'll run a sleeping platform. I know this is only a 60-inch box or 5-foot bed, but if I get just diagonal in there, I can boondock. I wouldn't camp out of it necessarily, but in a pinch, I could boondock.
Yeah, you can put a rack on that if you wanted on the hard top.
Right, exactly. And you know, I use a an Oztent. I got an Oztent 4, Oztent 3. I think it's an Oztent 4, and that's pretty long. It's like you know, almost 6 feet long. So as it is now, it sticks way up on top of the rack. But if I get that top, it sort of even out. And the Oztent, I really like it. You know, thinking about a rooftop tent. Problem is when I go to events and I have to use my truck for a demo or go on a trail ride, I would have to break camp and then and then come back and set up camp where I could just leave a trailer or a tent. Got some Roto packs. These are only 3 gallons a piece.
Is that gasoline?
Yeah, it's just regular petrol. Roto packs, they're cool. They look cool and everything, and nothing against them, but I think I would probably just do a jerry can if I had to do it
next time.
Yeah, and then I use and what I use is one of these little
coming around.
These little siphons.
Right.
So I just grab the can, put it up high, and I probably should clean this out.
Put it right in your tank.
Exactly, and then I just just siphon it right out into there. Of course, I got the requisite trasharoo, which
good for you.
It's just good, man. It's everybody kind of makes fun of overland trasharoo, aren't you something? But I can carry wood in here. I can carry firewood in here, and then on the way in, and then trash on the way out. I can pick up after other people who might have forgot to take their trash with them.
That's a nice way to word it.
Yeah, right on. Got my spare. This rack is an LFD. Heavy duty. This rack is the first one that LFD made for Tacomas. They make them, so it's the prototype.
It's got the pockets for your high lift.
Yes,
I like that.
Yes, and see what's cool about LFD, they're right here in North Carolina, and really good bunch of guys. But what's cool about LFD is they actually came to one of our classes before they got into the off-road fab business, and they wanted to get into the off-road fab business, so they came to us and said, hey, what kind of things would you like to see on bumpers and hard points? I said, well, definitely some place to put a high lift nose, definitely recovery points that are welded through and welded on both sides and connect directly with the frame, because that's where you want your recovery points, right? And I tell you what, LFD does not skimp. They are heavy duty bumpers. So if you get one, which I recommend.
Great.
What's that?
It looks great.
Yeah,
I like how they did this design right here.
Yeah, and it's if you get one, you're gonna want to upgrade your springs.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go
the weight.
Yeah. I don't really have anything going on fancy in the back, like different platforms or drawers or anything like that. I'm really, JP, I'm at the point now where I'm trying to keep everything as light as I can.
Sure.
This already is a hugely heavy truck, and now weight is so important. It's so easy to add too much weight to your truck, and before you know it, your 270 horsepower feels like 70 horsepower.
I think we've all been guilty of that.
When you're going up over, the passes, over Eisenhower Pass, you're like, it's like, oh man, especially if you're gonna, haul a trailer or anything. She's a little bit scuffed up and dirty. Sorry about that. I do have plans. I've got stock axles, stock gearing 373. I do plan on going to 456 gears, and I might stay with the same size tires, or I might go one size bigger. if anybody ever asks, hey, what's the biggest tire you can put on a IFS or a Tacoma or something like that? Well, you can really put as big as you can fit, but I don't recommend that.
Right, it's not necessary.
Yeah, I would stay with, I wouldn't go much more than 34 inches, you know, whatever metric size or, you know, conventional size or imperial size that you want to call it. 33 to 34 is the biggest I would go. And it's just, it's, you know, you're talking about IFS, you're talking about flex, you're talking about wear and tear on everything. You know, if you want to make a trail vehicle, build a trail vehicle. If you want something that's, you know, more overland and comfortable, daily driver, you know, that's the direction. I can still do some pretty serious trails. I'm not, you know, doing, you know, hot tub necessarily, or even if I wanted to, or, you know, Daniel over at Uwari.
Sure.
But, you know, I can still get around to most, you know, pretty good places.
Everything. What about those little sand ladders? What brand are those? Are those metal or plastic?
These are the ones that ARB puts out.
I gotcha.
I had some I had some Max Tracks, which are great, and just because we work with ARB a lot, they said, hey, try some of these, and I am. What's cool about these is the nubs. I don't know if you can see up here. I can take it off if you want, but the little studs, the nubs are kind of independent, and they're a little bit harder of a material.
Are they replaceable? The nubs,
these
maybe?
Aren't replaceable. They do make replaceable ones, but these one of the issues with, you don't want to spin on any of these.
Sure.
You don't want to spin a tire on any of these, but one of the issues with the Max Tracks is you know, if you spin it, all it says big letter, do not spin, right? So you shouldn't. But they were wearing down the nubs, so Max Track is like, okay. So they came out with one that's got harder nubs and that are replaceable. These guys just started with a little bit of a more harder compound on the nub, which is fine. They're really not much difference. I mean,
I like how those nest like
they
super
do.
tight.
They
You
get
got
down real
four,
tight.
yeah.
They get down real tight and they tuck up. I'm not a fancy guy. I got this Walmart ratchet strap that works just fine to hold them in there, but they do have the notches where you can put a peg through them like the Match. On my 4Runner, I've got the, you know, because it's the fancy truck. You know, I've got the cool little, you know, the mounts, the little cam mounts. That go
Right.
But you know, other than that, only other mods really. I got these Bushwhacker Fender Flares. Because of that, it's a high clearance bumper. I did have to cut 6 inches away.
I see it.
Yeah. And again, this is a prototype, so the newer LFD bumpers do match up with the Fender a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. So, but hey, man, you know, I'm working with LFD. I'll help them out. And again, I'm not a super fancy guy. Rocky Road rock sliders, real good, real stealth, and they're cool because they're stealth. The thing is I'm probably going to go with LFD rock sliders where I've got
some protection.
Yeah, and a little bit of a kick out. The other thing I like about them is they're strong enough. You know, your rock sliders have to be, it's a true rock slider if it supports the weight of the vehicle.
Yep.
Right? It's got to be able to support the weight of the vehicle. Bolted or welded in. I kind of prefer bolted in.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I want tubes so I can run a soft shackle and side load it if I need to.
Right.
You're in a situation where you're on a double fall line. I got a winch that way, but the truck wants to go that way, sideways down the hill. I can side load that with a
That's a good idea.
A soft shackle. Maybe put a little pressure, come along style with the high lift, or somebody else with a winch, and then I can keep from sliding down. You know, or just pull myself sideways. But I can get a soft shackle through here, but it's kind of. I kind of got saw it through and fiddle it through, and it'd be easier just to loop through. I love these wheels. I love Methods and Hutchinson and all these awesome, you know, high-speed wheels. They're awesome. These are great wheels. They're level 8s, and they work really, really well. They look pretty good. They're not quite as expensive as those other ones, but I also like running these big spokes, so I can run a soft shackle through these spokes.
I like that.
And they're not sharp. So I don't want to put my soft shackle on anything that's sharp. So why would I run a soft shackle through the spokes? Well, if I want to lift the wheel
Right.
instead of the suspension away from the wheel with a high lift, and do a jack and stack, I can saw shackle that, jack that wheel up, throw a match track or a rock underneath here, and drive off whatever I might be hung up on. Run an LFD skid plate. Really good, burly, heavy duty. I've got these Baja designs that miraculously still work. They've been through,
Got some moisture in
man,
them.
they've been through hell and back. And they've been smashed with rocks, you know, running behind Kurt Williams, you know, and those guys out there in Utah trying to keep up with them, going 70 through the desert. But anyway, they're really good lights, but, you know, these are on their last leg. I'll probably upgrade them with something like a Light Force or maybe even the ARB.
Something a little bigger, a little larger.
Yeah, something bigger, something that throws out a little bit more light. I don't have any ham radios. I just got a simple CB. You know, when I need to, for comms out in the middle of nowhere, when I'm running a class for emergency, I have a SAT. I have an Iridium phone that I carry. CBs are really just for within the group. Hey, how's it going up there? Hey, pretty good. Hey, watch out. There's a chupacabra, whatever. I'm not. You know, I've spent 26 years in the military, but I suck at radios. I'll admit it. So I would like to be truthful. I would like to get more into radios just a little bit, but I don't run anything fancy. My navigation is, you know, I run Gaia. There's so many things you could put on your dashboard to look at and do and play with. I would rather look at the terrain, do a little bit of terrain association,
right,
with the
and
map,
gadgets,
right, and then just enjoy the scenery and what I'm doing, and be attentive to the trail and what's coming up. You know, not that I don't use navigation, sure do, but I don't want to spend all my time looking down at the screen.
Sure.
So, you know, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not anything special. It's not anything crazy. Yes, I updated the suspension to maintain good handling because of the weight, right? Yes, it does give me lift, so I can run a little bit of a bigger tire, so I can run a little bit more clearance. But, you know, we, you know, at OEX, we take pride in running and seeing, you know, how far we can get with a stock vehicle.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're doing.
I like it.
I mean, it doesn't look stock, but, you know, it looks, used to be, 10 years ago, you saw this truck, you'd be like, wow, look at that. Now, you go any, you know, kind of city near any mountain, and there's, you know, 20 trucks that look like these running down the road.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been a good old horse for sure.
Well, thanks for the walk around.
Yeah,
Appreciate
my
it.
pleasure, man.
All right.
No worries.
Catch you next time.
Cool.